Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm really excited to share with you my Lapbook, which is finally finished. In the last video I just had to kind of put all of the ephemera in, so I've done that. I've done some last sort of final details as well, which I'll show you in a moment. But this whole Lapbook has been made using my industrial grunge kit. I also encourage you to check out my design team. I'll be popping photos up on the screen now, but they have all done such an incredible job with these papers. I always find it fascinating that even though they have all worked with the same kit, each of their projects look completely different. They're all very creative in their own ways, and it's just really brilliant and inspirational to see. So if you're looking for any ideas on a new project, go and check out each of those ladies. Some of them have their own YouTube channels, some of them are on Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, definitely go and check out each of them because they have all done an incredible job. So, if you have been following along, you know that I was making a lapbook. This is a smaller lapbook than the last one that I made. If I just grab my ruler, I can let you know the exact size. So it is about 5 inches wide and it is 8 inches tall. And I did use a book cover for this. The spine is 1.5 and it is a little bit chunky. I would say the mouth opens a little bit wider than the spine. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's 2 inches. So it is a bit of a gator mouth. I'll try and lift it up this way so you can see. So it is a little bit wider here than I wanted, but once I started adding everything inside, and I just couldn't stop, if I'm honest, adding things, it did get a little bit bulky. So it does have this kind of belt style closure. And if you remember, I used these brads that look like screws, which I really love, and the cheesecloth. I did include some book corners on the outside as well. So when we open it up, so as I said, this is just a kind of belt buckle style, and then I put a little cog on there as well, but that comes right off. It's not attached or anything, it's just to help sort of keep it closed. And then this is the faux leather that I used on the spine, and then this was a piece of material that I had left over from another project, but I just really love it, and it's nice and kind of the same grungy colours. But that's the kind of belt that holds it closed. So if I pop that to one side, you can have a better look at the cover. So as I said, you've got a faux leather spine, you've got those screws and the cheesecloth underneath the kit pages. So this is a page from the kit. And the same on the front, we've got those screws down the side with some cheesecloth. This one I added a key that's from the kit, and then I made, it's supposed to look like tape, but it's actually where I had put ink inside a laminating folder and it just discoloured it slightly. So I just cut thin strips of it and stuck it down so it looks a little bit like old sellotape. So you may not be able to see it very well on the screen, but it does come up really, really good and looks really effective. And of course I've just got a few cogs on there. I've got my book plate with the word industrial. This is on a magnet, so the magnet kind of hits the screws. This flips out. You can also pull it out and you've got a space for photos and for writing, and that just slots back in there. But you also get to see this bit as well. I was debating putting a pocket or something here, but again, I didn't want to add any more bulk to it because it was already getting a little bit chunky. Right, so on the inside, when you open it up, this is how it looks. So when I first started thinking about this, I was going to have my journal coming up the middle, but because the sides ended up too bulky, there was just no room for a journal in the middle. So I've put the journal elsewhere, which you'll see in a moment. I'll do it side by side just because that is easier. So we'll start over on this side. So we've got this lady on the pocket, and then this pulls out, and I've just made a large journaling card with a page from the kit. Just done a little bit of sort of decoration down the bottom using other elements from the kit, and then it's just backed with that squared paper that you'll find on the journaling pages. So a nice big journaling card to go in there. This then flips out And this is where I have used that laminate sheet again with the kind of inks inside. And you might not be able to see it very well, so I'll just lift it to shine. So I'm sorry about the glare for a moment, but I ran this through an embossing folder, and it's actually now got a cog pattern on it, which I realise isn't great to see on the screen, but in real life you can see it. And this is just a really large pocket. And then again, I just made a journaling card using one of the pages from the kit. And it's just plain on the back, but you could write on the back, you could stick a photo on the back, that kind of a thing. And then obviously you've got the papers behind when you pull the tag out. So that just slots back in there. This then flips out again, so I'm just going to move it over again. And then we've got this piece here. So I didn't cover this again. You could possibly just stick a photo or something on there. I've then got two journaling cards which come out of this pocket. So I've got the bingo one and then the quote that's also in the kit. One machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men. No machine can do the work of one extraordinary man. Albert Hubbard. So that's those two. And as I say, they fit in this pocket here. I then have this, so again, I've used a similar magnetic closure. So this is just on a rusty washer. And then this gives me a tri-fold tag that opens up. So again, I've got room for writing. There are possible areas for little photos as well. And this is also a pocket where I've got the check that's in the kit as well. And I did actually spend some time because it's supposed to be punched to kind of show that the check's been used. So I just followed the punch lines and then it says paid. And it does have some numbers on there, but I can't actually quite make out what the numbers are. But that's that. That goes in there. And then this closes up. Then we'll move this back over. This was the pouch that I made last time. So that just unwinds, these straps come back, and then inside all I've made is a really simple basic mini journal. So I've actually made this from a paper bag, so it is quite sort of thin and flexible, and then I've just covered the paper bag with again some of the papers, and then on the inside I've just used the journaling pages from the kit. And that's all in there. And I've just stapled it down the middle. But those are the journaling pages. And then at the back where you've obviously got the opening for the bag, I've just popped one of the layered tags. This was one of the challenges. I think this was the week 1 challenge to make a tunnel tag. So I've got all of my different elements in there as well. So that just goes in the back, and then that's my sort of mini journal. And obviously it's expandable, so obviously as this starts to get more full, then obviously you just wouldn't pull this quite so tight, so it has got room to grow. Okay, so that's that side. Moving over then. Similar, we've got obviously this pocket to mirror, and again you've got a nice big journaling card. So this is actually the other half of this, so it shows the car there with the wheel and the engine and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually the other half of that. And again I've just sort of added bits to it. So we've got the tape, we've got this man and the word shift, and again that one is backed, and that goes on that side. We then open up. And we have this one, which was one of the challenges as well. So when you open this up, it comes out, it comes down. You've got different pockets here, which have different bits of ephemera in. If you open it out again, you've still got pockets. I don't know if you can see those. I don't know if I fit in camera, but again, you've got little pockets to the side. I've then got envelopes, which again I've put bits of ephemera in, so I've got tags and stickers and things in there, and again I've added some bits into these pockets here, so all different pieces of ephemera in those as well. Nope, that way. So that's that bit. Then moving on, we have this one. So again, a policy style closure, and this was the file folder that was in the kit. So you open it up, you've got tons of journaling space, possibility of a photo maybe on the back. This is then hinged onto here, so you've got two teeny tiny little journaling cards, and then you've got double pockets here, which just have little pieces of ephemera, all from the kit or the freebies. So that's all in there. And then I used a little cluster that I made as one of my Stash Bash challenges in the group, and I've put that on there as well. But that all just flips round and that goes on there. Then moving along again, this opens up. We'll start in the middle, I think. So I created this belly band. Again, this is one of these Stash Bash clusters that I use making fabrics, and I've just put two of the large tags in here, and I've just added some extra decoration. So these are the frames that were from the tunnel tag challenge that was in those freebies. I've got one of the numbers that are from the kit and one of the men, and then on this one I used again the cogs that were in the tunnel tag challenge. I've got this lady on there and the word records, and then both of them are backed onto papers, so they just go behind that belly band. And you'll notice that I haven't put any sort of strings or ribbons and things or seam binding through the tops of the tags, and that's only because I was trying to reduce the bulk as much as possible. When you open up this way, we have those slotted pockets, and again they've all just been filled, so I've got different tags and bits, and if they were a plainer tag then I have decorated them. If they were already like a pattern tag, I just left them as they were, but I did add some decoration if they were quite plain, so I did the same on this one, and then that one just says payee. But yeah, I didn't want to add too much to them if they were already like the kit papers. And then this opens out this way. I've got a slanted pocket here, which again has two tags on. This one I didn't decorate, that's how it's printed, but this one again I used one of the clocks from the challenge. We've got that clock there, and sorry, one of the frames from the first challenge. We've got that clock there, and then the word clock as well. So those go in that slanted pocket, and then we've got this one at the back where I created the tab, and then this is also from the kit, says peeled paint, and then we've got the ladies again, and then you lift it up and you've got lots of journaling space there as well. So that's that side. And lastly we have this section here. So again we've got another magnet. This opens up and we have an envelope, and I've just put a journaling card in there, so it just looks like different paperwork and forms. That goes in there. You've got lots of writing space. This opens up. Oh, got to move you along again. And then we've got a couple of pockets, which are again just filled with different pieces of ephemera that are in the kit. And then the same on this one. So again, I just used bits. This one was actually from the third challenge where we made the little matchbox, and I have in mind still all the little bits that I haven't yet used, so that's just kind of storing all of my little fussy cuts. But one of them I said I tried to print on sticker paper just to kind of see. It does make it a little bit darker, a little bit grungier, so I used that to decorate that one. I've got this one that's not stuck on, that's how it's printed, and then I've got this one, which again I used one of the clusters that I did in one of my Stash Bash challenges in the group. So that's that pocket filled, and that is the Lapbook complete. So lots and lots of different compartments and pockets and tucks and flip outs and bits here and bits there, and as you can see it is quite chunky already. I have on the belt left 2 holes, so at the moment it can go on the first hole, but if it needs to, it can then come back as well. So at the moment it fits there, but if it needs to expand, there is another hole for that. Well, I am so happy with how this turned out. I really enjoyed designing this kit. I've really enjoyed working with it as well. I do quite like the grunge look. This is, I mean, I have done a grungy Alice, but I think this is my first true grungy kit, and yeah, it has been an absolute joy. As I said at the beginning, I do encourage you to go and check out my design team. They've done amazing things with these papers as well. Thank you so much for watching, and for those of you who have been following the build of this as well. I really appreciate all of your support, so thank you so much everybody that is subscribing and leaving comments. I do appreciate it. And now I'm looking forward to the next project. Well, thank you so much everybody. That's it from me. I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.